Every single year, this fear mongering goes on around in September. I can't believe it took me so long to notice. Well, I've noticed a lot of fear mongering, fear porn, time to prepare for the worst. You know, hey, if you happen to be in that timeline where shit hits the fan, my advice is collect silver, buy silver. That's what you could trade with. Get a month or two of food and water, and you know, worry about what you're going to trade. You're going to trade silver. That's going to pan out more than anything else. But I need to stay away from that stuff. It's not my perception. I said long ago, it's about what's in your perception. That's my perception. I love that video. I'm not trying to upset people that want to fear monger and the fear porn, and you're watching it. You're watching that. If you want to prepare because you think Armageddon's coming, or because they're gonna shut the stores down and you're not going to be able to go anywhere, and martial law, and they're going to put you in a FEMA camp or whatever. If you're watching the news, that's what you believe. If you're watching TV, that's what you believe. If you're watching the fear-mongering porn on YouTube, then that's what you believe. I mean, why would you watch that stuff? I'm watching TV. I keep saying it, but you people are watching TV. I hear every one of you every once in a while mention Hillary or Trump. Stop watching your TV. I'm not just saying that as a joke. You know, it's when you mention those things, you're watching fear porn on YouTube or TV. I don't understand it. I'm trying to help you. I ain't mad at you. I don't care. But I've heard many people do this stuff on YouTube recently, and I stop. You know, sometimes they got good information, and then they fill it up with this, you know, fear stuff. No. Just shut it off. You don't need to listen to that. I really like the idea. Some people are saying the Mandela effect has put us in a simulation, or has us in a simulation, like the Matrix. And I like that idea because my theory, as far as shifting our consciousness into other timelines, that goes right along with that. Or it can, especially if we're in a simulation. To me, it would make more sense. The wind on these things keeps hurting me. I don't know. Anyway, I've been catching a lot of videos where some psychics or intuitive people are saying that you might start to hallucinate or see things, or see demons or ghosts and whatnot. It's a possibility. It's, you know, you may start seeing things. I'm thinking I already have with the star situation. Maybe that's what we're going to start saying, stuff like that. But I'd say it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm trying to get away from the wind. I don't know if that's working or not. Put on your seatbelt. I'm going to, and always check my links. I try and put a bunch of links there. Just like the last video, I think I put a bunch of people on the Mandela effect there. And a lot of interesting theories on the Mandela effect. I check those. All right, that is due west. This is due north. And what I don't understand about the clouds is, not with the clouds, with the stars, are at night when I'm over here, there are stars coming up from the east, actually. And I have the Big Dipper over here coming. It's here, and then it comes around here as these stars are coming up, and I don't understand that. And I have no camera at night to show you this, or, you know, it would take hours. But I came out last night around 8:30 at night. The Big Dipper was kind of over here, and then it turned and was almost sitting straight up over here as these stars were getting brighter and coming up over here. It just doesn't make sense to me as far as them being moving all in the same direction. And that's what I've been seeing, and I don't know how to explain it. Unless, of course, now I'm up north, so maybe they're coming up and going around already. And I don't get that, because when I was younger, I had one of my parents pointing out the Big Dipper to me and showing me that the Small Dipper was connected to the Big Dipper. And I recall this as a child vividly, that the Big Dipper and the Small Dipper were connected. One star connected both of them. And I just wonder if that could be some sort of Mandela effect, or like the continents changing. They say the stars changed. So I've been wanting to get that out there. I wonder if anybody else has that memory that the Big Dipper and the Small Dipper were connected. Notice that entertainment. I put Netflix on. I was watching something that I watched before, and it's so bland. It's not as, the acting sucks, and it was not like that before. You know, for 1 second, I just wanted to get away from all this, and you can't, because you know, the music was changing. Now it's like watching old TV shows that I watched before, just, and not old either. I mean, the acting, that's what I'm trying to say. The acting just is bad. The acting's bad, and Netflix is just as bad as watching the news or any other kind of media. It's all programming. But if you're seriously still watching the news and the presidential election stuff, I mean, give yourself 3 days. Don't put the television on at all for 3 days. See if you can do it. And see how you feel after the third day. Because the first day, you're going to be climbing the walls. Is that New Zealand? Northeast of Australia? It's been a year for me now since I discovered the information on the Earth not being a globe, flat Earth. And my first video, I said it's about what's in your perception. And that's the truth. And that's where I'm still at. It's about what's in your perception. It's about what's around you. I am entertained and interested in the interviews, in people, their theories on if it's flat, concave, inverted, you know, all the different theories. I'm interested in listening to them. I don't think we're ever truly going to know what the shape of the planet is. I'm not sure if we're really supposed to know. But it is about what's in our perception. That's what I'm going with. And that's it with me for flat Earth. I mean, you know, like I said, I enjoy watching the interviews and people trying to discover what it is. But I am totally more into the Mandela effect and the things that are going on with that. And I think that's more important. I think that's what we should be looking at. There's so much separation in flat Earth because of the different theories. Everybody's entitled to their own theory, you know. The Mandela effect is showing us something, and flat Earth, to me, the information is a Mandela effect, but it's also a distraction. It's distracting everyone from seeing what we truly Seriously. Are. Hypothetically, once someone discovers the shape of the planet, how is that going to affect your life? That's it. It's not. It shouldn't. You're going to be upset and hurt, and you get over it. I've been through it. Quite a few other people have been through it. You get over it. You get angry. And then you get, I don't know, fighting mode. You know, you're not going to be able to do anything to change it. The government will fall. money will fall and we'll just trade with silver or something else. I mean, but there's nothing that you can do. It's about what's in your perception. Nothing's going to change. You're still going to have your perception. Once they discover the earth is malleable and it changes from globe to flat. I mean, it depends on where your perception is. Where do you want to live your life? That's where you're going to shift. That's where you're going to experience your life. You know, it's about your perception. And you can't see the entire planet no matter where you are. So it's not going to change anything. Because the people that are in the Mandela effect see that things can be changed. We manipulate or use the energy and create our reality. And I don't want to separate flat earth from Mandela effects, but I think flat earth is a Mandela effect as far as the information goes. At least for me, it showed up out of nowhere when everything else started happening. And what can you do with flat earth? Because it's been a year for me now. So what do we do with it? Nothing. You don't do anything with it. It's over. The earth is not a globe. It's a different shape. We've been lied to. We're still going to live on it. And the Mandela effect. Physical reality is changing. Your past is changing, and it's suggested that you can change your future and live the life that we're expecting to live. Somebody said there's a lot of separation in flat earth. Yeah, there is, because it's not a globe, and many different groups have many different ideas and theories, and everybody's entitled to their idea and theory until somebody comes up with a definitive truth, which I just don't see happening. I don't see that happening. We are, you know, forever going to not know what we live on, what the shape of the planet is, and whatever, that's fine. And when we find out, what are we going to do? Try and break out? Assuming some of the things I feel, yeah, my feelings on are it's probably flat. What shape? I don't know. Is it domed? I don't know. Probably with more land on the other side of the South Pole. And it probably shifts and changes depending on which timeline you're shifting into. Flat Earth is nothing more than a stepping stone to help you change your perception. That's what happened to me. It changed my perception of reality. But that's all. It's time to let go of that and move on. It's time for me to let go of the Mandela effect and move on as well. That also is just a stepping stone. And the time things and shifts that happened to me, they were showing me what's going to be coming up. That's what I think. And these things are stepping stones. You know, we can form and shape our reality the way we want. That's where this is going. Doesn't matter what shape the planet is. I really recommend if you... See, for me, that's what changed my perception. Discovering that I can't prove that the earth is a globe and I can't prove that it's flat changed my perception of reality, and that's when, you know, things just started to happen for me. Everything I want is happening. I don't understand why the Mandela effect did not change my perception. You know, it's, to me, physical reality is changing. A lot of people don't see this. The people that don't see it, that get on YouTube to yell at you and ridicule you, they're upset that they're not included. They will be soon. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And I think that's, you know, it's just going to keep getting more obvious and more obvious. I just don't care anymore. I don't care that it's not a globe. I'm more interested in what's in my perception. I'm more interested in creating the life around me. And if I'm going to be into a conspiracy, it's going to be the Mandela. Flat Earth is nothing more than a stepping stone to help you change your perception. I've done a couple videos on this topic. I don't know what I'm going to post. I just don't like the way I articulate things. It's been a year for me with discovering flat Earth information, and it doesn't affect me, whatever the shape of the planet is. I am on board with it not being a globe. I don't think we're ever going to know what the shape is. I think if we, there's no way you're ever going to actually visually see the entire planet. So you personally are never going to know. You're always going to take somebody else's word for it. So, no, the Earth's not a globe. And there are a good handful of other theories out there of what it is other than a globe. Flat is the big one. Most people believe it's flat. Some people believe it's concave, and I found out that's been going on before flat Earth. I didn't look deep into the Pac-Man theory. I came up with a theory. I mean, it doesn't matter. My theory was totally ridiculous, but whatever. Hollow, inverted. There's quite a few theories out there. But like I said in my first video, it's about what's in your perception. If you're putting TV in your perception, that's what your life's going to be. If you're putting love in your perception, that's what your life's going to be. And it's more and more defined as your thoughts are going to create your reality. But I still going to follow the flat Earth community and a couple other communities I've been checking out. Not as big as flat Earth, but yeah, it doesn't matter. And I believe Don. There was a video where my buddy Donnie was saying the same thing. I don't know why I didn't wrap my head around that then. I felt like there has to be a reason. It must matter. It has to. It crushed me for a while that I was lied to, but everything's a lie. We know that now. Never heard of a black moon before, but apparently September 30th, 2016, we have a black moon. Yeah, I'm going to be concentrating my energies into the Mandela effect and the stars. I'm going to start coming out, and I'll see if I could film things or explain what I see. So last night on the stars, that direction is northwest. No, that's correct, northwest. And the Big Dipper went down over the horizon, right over northwest, and kind of pulling north. And there were other stars coming out over this way. And I didn't follow all of them, but I'm going to take a peek. Something else I wanted to talk about, and I didn't because I don't know the name of this thing, but I'm up here at over 10,000 feet. And there is this band of clouds, say about 9 o'clock at night. It goes from southeast, I guess south to north it kind of goes, I guess, at about 9 o'clock. And this I just assumed it was clouds. I'm like, wow, it's weird that it's always cloudy here. My roommate tells me it's the Milky Way, it's space dust, and I'm like, what do we got, a ring around the planet? Over, but it was moving. And then I came out a couple hours later and it was like this, and it's a cloud. I mean, it looks like a cloud. I got to find out what it's called. And it was about midnight and it was like this. Yet. So I'm going, okay, if we're flat, it's turning like that. It's a line. It's a line. I would say, whoa, it's probably all the dirt on the dome. Maybe that's all our cigarette smoke. I don't know. But it's a line. And he's telling me it's always there and you just never seen it before because I always lived in the city. And I have to find out what it's called. So if this thing, if we're stationary and this thing is moving from here to here, if we're there, it's moving. It's moving in a circle. That thing is, it's there every night. That thing's going to show what's going on. If we were spinning, that line would be going the other way because we'd be spinning that way, correct? Wonder if it'll come up. I don't normally do any shout outs, but I thought it was appropriate here. There are quite a few channels I admire, so if I miss anybody, apologies. There are a couple of people that helped me out personally while I was going through some effects and changes, and I just want to give them a shout too. And some people I really admire their videos or the things they're saying on YouTube. Jennifer Forbes, thank you. Patricia Steer, Jazz Sinclair, Lori Gale, Life Matrix, Moneybag 73. I had a list of more. I just, not off the top of my head. Conspiracy Mystic, hello. I just want to give them a shout, and their links. Right, you see that link that just popped up? You really should watch that. Stasha Erickson, she's pointed out some things that are going on with YouTube and some other interesting things as well. And also Globebusters, Jaron, Brian Mullen, the things that Mark Sargent, the Flat Earth Clues, that was a enjoyable series. Although I think should have been called The Earth is Not a Globe Clues. Now it's 10 o'clock at night, and this is the direction the Big Dipper was in, and now it's right there, and it's lower in the sky, and it's bigger than it was before. All right, it's midnight. The Big Dipper is over the horizon except for the top of it, and it is practically went northeast from where it was when I first saw it. Can't imagine you can see any of this really, but that belt or whatever, the galaxy, Milky Way that they were telling me. A few people have been saying, yeah, that's what they're calling it. It's like, it looks like a belt to me. It goes all the way from one end to the other. That has turned. It is almost, after another hour, it'll be directly east to west. You just can't see that. The Big Dipper is closer to west. It's about 10 to 8. And it's smaller. And then I remember it last night before I lost it over the horizon. I can barely see that dust cloud. It goes right around like that. It reminds me of a rainbow. That's what I was trying to figure out. How I could describe it. It's very faint. Barely see it. But I would say it's like a rainbow. And it turns. I've been thinking about these conversations we used to have on MandelaEffect.com about how what happens to, okay, if we shift into another timeline, what happens to the people that we left behind? People were worried about them. And I found that interesting because the way I see it, when somebody dies in my life, you know, that was all pre-programmed to teach me a lesson for whatever reason. If something happens that I am perceiving, it's for me. So with leaving people behind. You're not really leaving people behind. They're just in their own little timeline, dimensional bubble, experiencing what they need to experiencing to grow and learn. And I found it weird, having these thoughts, and I wanted to express them because they are things that we discussed on that site. About how you're really not leaving anybody behind. You were never really with anybody except yourself in the first place. Everything around you is for you. And what you do with it is really up to you. Kind of like in this timeline as far as how information goes. Last two people I ran into, I mentioned that the Earth was not a globe and a couple Mandela effects. When I mentioned that the Earth was not a globe, the girl looked at me like I was crazy, but not because I didn't think it was a globe, because I ever thought it was a globe and because I ever believed them. And she started talking to me saying, oh yeah, I know about that stuff. I'm all into conspiracies, but I knew it wasn't a globe long ago. And that just, blew my mind. And so the guy I'm talking to, he starts talking to me about Mandela effects like I've talked to him about it before, never seen him before. And then after a while he's going, I thought you were somebody else. So I thought that was really strange. But I've been thinking, and I've said something similar to this before as far as us all being in our own dimension, in our own little dimensional bubble. I'm thinking I'm the only one experiencing any of this. And all the other bodies out there their consciousnesses are somewhere in their own little dimensional bubble that they're experiencing things. Are they experiencing the same things? No. Their consciousness is somewhere else. The body that's here is just not being utilized. It's not being used by that entity, by that spirit, by that soul, by that being. I hope I articulated that correctly. I know I've been using that word a lot. For instance, if you interact with me in your timeline, I'm not actually conscious of that. I'm just conscious of this.
Where you see the Earth as a sphere, those pictures are not faked. And I'll tell you, just if nothing else, here's why you can tell they're not faked. Just to create the paperwork that NASA has created, in NASA in this one case, just the paperwork to send anything out in space, to send people into orbit or to send them to the moon, that amount of paperwork would make faking it prohibitively expensive. No one could afford
this shit my roommate makes me listen to, and he's getting on my nerves. Fucking tired of listening to this bullshit.
If you're really serious, if your friends are really serious, have them get on a boat or a ship and go out at sea, and you'll notice you can't see infinitely.
You just watched is totally lying to you. That guy really cares about science. And he does some fucking science.
We live on a ball. I'm convinced.
No, you're not.
I am. You've convinced me. I'm doing what I want to do, and I got this guy fathering me, telling me what I should be doing with my life, and I need to go to school, and because I'm not very intelligent, calling me a fucking idiot because I don't think the Earth is a globe. But before it was, it's not flat, it's not flat. I told him I don't know if it's flat, and I don't care. Now he just constantly wants to drill into my head that it's a ball. And I'm tired of listening to the guy. And I'm going to have to give you an example of the stuff I have to listen to as soon as he puts alcohol to his lips.
It doesn't matter. The man did. You live as a child all of
It must. It bothers you horribly how I live my life.
Not really. It just
it does.
Affects my life.
How?
Because you live with me.
I'm moving out any day now. You know that.
I know, dude. I don't know how to be nice about it, dude.
Be nice about what?
Calling you a fucking idiot.
Why would you call me a fucking idiot?
Because you're a fucking idiot.
Well, you're not making any sense.
Because you believe in all this psychedelic shit and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You talk about the planet shifting and shit shifting all the time. Dude, this Pennzoil can is from the fucking 70s. It has not changed. The writing on this can has not changed.
No, it hasn't. It's always been that way.
Right. So maybe you're in a different dimension or not, dude. But this is the dimension that you're in. So accept it and deal with it, dude. You try to talk about shifting dimensions and shit, dude. But you have no proof of that, dude. You try to talk about words and fucking names and shit. And as far as I can understand, you're pretty fucking... You're fairly illiterate, dude. You don't... Dude, I'm not trying to fucking hate on you, dude.
You are. Dude, you
No,
hate
I'm
what I
busting your
believe.
balls.
No, you hate
No.
what I believe. You're afraid.
I don't hate what you...
You're afraid
I
that
don't
that
hate
shit
what
might
you
be
believe.
right.
No, dude.
Yes, you
no,
are.
that's not true at all, dude. I'm just telling you that in my beliefs, from what I see,
Yeah.
you are a dream chaser. You want to believe conspiracy shit, and you see what you want to see and you hear what you want to hear. Anthony, I'm really not trying to bust your balls, but I am busting your balls because you think you get it, but you clearly don't, dude. And I can't say I do either, dude. But you're in your own la la land, which is awesome, dude. I appreciate that, but you clearly do not get it.
I do.
Dude, Bill Nye has 10 times more knowledge than you or I do. And he is not lying to you, and he totally proves shit physically all the time. He does a kid show. Dude, he does a little kid show trying to prove science to children, to influence these children to go on beyond where he's at. Dude, it's not a false. Anthony, it's not a false. He's doing a favor for everybody, not just himself for his own knowledge, but he's doing it for everybody else, dude. He's not getting paid off by anybody.
He's teaching theories to children.
No, he's teaching scientific proof to
Fact,
children.
truth.
Yes, facts and truth.
Truth.
That's what he's teaching. Have you ever watched Bill Nye the Science Guy?
No.
Dude, he will teach you some shit. And it's true. You can do it in your fucking own home. And it's fucking true. And you can't fucking credit or disprove it. Because you can do the same thing in your fucking home that he fucking teaches you, dude. He is not lying to you. He is not getting paid off. He is one of the most intelligent people on this fucking planet. And one of the things that he does is try and benefit everybody. He's all about humanity and everybody surviving, dude. And so, talk shit on Bill Nye, dude.
Oh yeah, one other thing. He shut the internet off on me because he was tired of having me sit at the computer. I said, dude, when you're gone, I clean the house, I do the dishes, the kitchen's always clean. Everything, you know, it's not like I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I didn't have to. He didn't ask me to do the dishes or straighten up after them. I mean, but the internet's off, so I'm sure I won't be putting out many videos. You'll be getting these a week.
By the time you guys get the information on my roommate's perception of things, that whole scenario will probably be over by a week at least. I'm not sure how I'm going to put that up, but, you know, I think it's worth sharing. Parts of it that, you know, I mean, I don't have to explain my life to anybody, but I really felt like I had to. This guy waited till the next morning and I explained it to him, and, you know, we get along when he ain't drinking, period. Finally got myself zeroed out, you know, as far as maybe July, August. I think it happened in August. Zeroed myself out. Now I'm starting over. You know, so what I'm doing with my life is really nobody's business. I don't, you know, but you'll hear it. Funny. Everything happens for a reason, right? We all know that. So, you know, things happened the way they were supposed to happen there. I knew I was leaving anyway. I mean, you know, it was like why I had to listen to him. I really felt like I didn't. But that's over with. I'm doing my thing. I've noticed a lot of people talking about bad times and rough times. It happened for me. I'm going to give you an example right now. But things have turned around. I mean, big time, in the direction I'm looking. I mean, and all the bad things that happened to me, I remember thinking before they happened. So this will pan out for me much better than going to California, and I'll be able to go, take off, do what I want, or stay here. It's up to me. I'm leaving this area. So I don't like seeing it. So somebody asked me, how do you magically shift into another dimension? You know, where the Illuminati's not taking over and all the fear-mongering can't happen because they're not in control. You know, I thought about that for a long time, you know, and it's... The first thing you do is forgive them. And, you know, don't give them any energy, don't give them any power. How do we do that? Don't watch TV. That seems like a new concept. Don't be susceptible to their programming. Don't watch it. You know what it is. Don't watch it. You know, start there. Forgive them. Realize they can't hurt you. You are in control. You are in control of your reality. Nothing can hurt you. If something's negative in your life, forgive them. Move on. You know, and that'll help you shift into a different timeline, dimension, whatever you want to call it. The only reason I'm making this video is so that you'll watch the link I'm posting below. It's a great video to watch. Watch that link. No doubt in my mind I will get my physical desires. I mean, everything's happening the way it's supposed to. You know, I wonder, is it a program that's just happening the way it's going to happen, and I'm happier when I go with it, and I'm unhappy when I don't go with it? You know, there's things I won't go with, and there's things I will. I mean, you know, I have morals, and I have my ideals. So there's things I obviously wouldn't go with. But right now, the things that are going on the outside world with that's not within my perception is pretty incredible. I mean, the people that I've been talking to, the dimensions or timelines that they're in is amazing. I mean, one guy is absolutely sure martial law is going to happen. I spoke with somebody else who said it's absolutely bullshit. You know, to me, I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. I don't really concentrate on it. So for me, it's just not going to happen. And if you're experiencing that, you're just in another timeline or dimension or whatever you want. That's why I say, you know, what you project, what you focus on, what you concentrate on is what you're going to experience. And getting away from flat earth and Mandela effects and YouTube and the news, not a bad thing. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in my life right now. And I realize when I fight things, things don't work out. But when I let things happen, I mean, not even worrying about things, just whatever happens, happens, just go with it, and everything works out perfect. I mean, even better than I would desire. So it's happened twice for me now, where I thought I was out of a job and had money stashed away, but that's going to run out, you know, so what are you going to do? I didn't do anything. I meditated, took it easy, relaxed, and something came up every time, both times. And there are things I desire and that I want in my life, and they're coming. I know it, I feel it. But there's other things happening that are more important. You know, the things I desire in my life are physical, and there's something not very physical going on right now. And that's more important. That's why I'm here. I was thinking about people who actually witness shifts. I witnessed one with the Grateful Dead pin. I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, but I guess that's what that looks like. I was wondering if we could pinpoint like when things were happening, but then I decided since there's infinite timelines, infinite dimensions, infinite things going on, no, that's not. So I just got done talking to a couple about a couple of Mandela effects. All I mentioned really was JFK, and everything else, the gentleman kept saying no, it's always been that way, but she just kept looking like, whoa, what's going on? It's kind of weird. But the JFK thing kind of, he said, nah, it's got to be fixed or something. It's just, I really think it depends. Your mind is going to take it or it's not. You're either supposed to accept it or you're not, or maybe things will happen where you accept it on your own, because that's what it might come down to. But the Mandela effect is real. I have my own proof. I mean, a lot of things I could say, yeah, I could have misremembered that. I'll even go so far as to say I could have misremembered Magic Mirror. I don't think so for a second, but I'm like, well, okay, I could have. But no, I've had so many people online saying that the Mandela effect is just people misremembering. I don't understand why somebody would be so into calling people names because of what they remember or because of what they forgot. And why would you get on there and say it's just real? It's not real. These people are nuts. Why would you do that? Why do you care? If you're not noticing the effects, I wouldn't worry about it. If I wasn't noticing the effects, I wouldn't be talking about it. But I'm noticing effects, so I'm talking about it. If you're not noticing effects, why would you bother? Are you upset that you're not involved, you're not included? I really believe you're going to be soon. This is in response to all the posts about people who have passed. Now, it's my theory that we're all in our own personal timeline dimension. So when they die for you. You're interacting with them on another level. You're still talking with them. You're still interacting with them. It's just that your consciousness is somewhere else, experiencing what you need to experience. I don't think they died. They just shifted into a timeline where they had to learn the things they had to learn, whether it be, whatever it is. I mean, it can be anything.
All in all was just a break in the wall. All in all it was all just breaks in the wall.
I'm thinking is bad. But the only way I came up with this idea is by thinking. Every time I start thinking or daydreaming about shit, it happens. I've been cutting myself off quick, and I think that works. It's strange because I'll just be daydreaming about something that's totally irrelevant, that, something about the future that might happen, and I've been cutting myself off. This whole living in the moment, and that's how I cut myself off. I concentrate on what I'm doing at that moment. And I just get into it and I feel it. It was like once I said about feeling my feet on the ground. It just gave me a feeling. That's what it is. I get in the moment and I feel it. I don't even know if this is worth mentioning, if it really matters. I was in this convenience store a month and a half ago. It was a small, tiny little thing. I just went in to get a thing of water so I could use the restroom. It was a small, tiny little restroom. And now I just walked into the place, and it's this expanded store that is connected to everything. I don't know how to explain it. The whole store's different. I mean, yeah, they could have refurbished it. They could have changed it. But it's not new. I walked into the bathroom. It was in a totally different section, and the bathroom's old. And this is definitely the place I was in, so I don't know what to think. Well, of course I know what to think.
straight down.
Ah, you see? All right. Camera's moving.
I swear to you, the announcer just said in the middle of another sentence, oh, by the way, the earth is flat, you know, and he laughed and they kept going on about some guy's statistics or something. I know that's what I heard. Yeah, that story about the store that changed on me reminds me of when I first got into the Mandela effect, and I was driving around and I saw a store that I frequent and they got a brand new sign. The next day I drove by it and it was the old wooden sign that I remembered from before. And I thought that was really strange. I'm taking this nice beautiful drive through the mountains. I'm thinking about that video. I can't quite remember Evan. I think it might have been Evan something. About how you just need to let go of 3D. You know, that's the shift is done. You know, we may notice some more changes. But you know, we're here now, we're out of 3D, and it's just a matter of letting that go, letting it die. And it felt like, wow, that's really easy to do. Some interesting thoughts I have while I'm driving through this incredible scene. Now this is strange. This is where I was actually looking to find this place. Whoa. Now this is supposedly what I was told in the 70s. There's a ghost town down here. There it is. That was evacuated. Now this town was evacuated supposedly because like the army came in and said, that's it, you're out, so got everybody out. I can't believe I can get this close to it, because what I was told is you can't. So they evacuated everybody. I don't have a clue what happened to them, but the story was that the ionization off of the screws that they were building in this town got in the water and started poisoning everybody, and they were all getting sick. So they evacuated the town. With the clothes on there, those cars out there have been sitting there since the 70s. Is that true? I can't be allowed to come down this far. This can't be true. That's what I was told. I don't know. They said they left the cars, the trucks, the clothes on the back. There are food on the tables. And I don't know. I don't see anybody down there. It looks like I can get down there. This can't be the town. I was told you're not allowed near the place. There's no way. These cars don't look like they're from the 70s. Oh, and there's people walking around. So apparently this is not the ghost town that I was told about. Interesting. I think I was just told a ghost story. That's what I think. So I'm still driving through the supposed ghost town. I was told right after the bridge, there's a spot you can go down and see it, and I just think if this is the town, they rebuilt it. I don't know where I'm at now. Well, there's the bridge. And after the bridge, I made a right, just like I was told. Of course, now I have no clue where I'm going. Hey, why not? I have not been getting to many videos. I've been wrapped up in my own stuff and trying to put away the electronics for the most part, or as much as I can. Now I know what I heard. Just in case, if somebody has the MLB package or anything and they want to check it out, it was the top of the 7th inning, probably with 2 outs, when I believe I heard he said that. It was also game 2 between the Dodgers and the Cubs. Top of the 7th inning, that's where he said, and the earth is flat. Now, whether he said it sarcastically, his exact words I think were, the earth is flat, by the way. Might have had something to do with the way the pitch went or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't really listening at the time, so that's why I'm hesitant to say, yeah, that's what he said. So it's game 2, Dodgers versus Cubs, 2016, top of the 7th inning, probably with 2 outs. Now look, this place is so busy, I could have misheard it. I mean, I might have heard it wrong, so who knows? I don't mind getting lost in this. I really don't know if this would be considered a Mandela effect or not, but this episode called "And the Children Shall Lead," I've heard of the title, but I've never seen this episode before, and I have seen every Star Trek. I was a big Trekkie back in the day, and I've seen every Star Trek, original, Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. I mean, and Enterprise. I mean, I've seen every episode of everything. I've never seen this. But I do remember that title, which is strange. Seen this movie 1,000,000 times. This kick is different. This is different.
He's gone.
The way he says Mr. Anderson.
Goodbye, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Have an amazing capacity for believing what they choose and excluding that which is painful.
All was just a break in the wall.
learn how to become aware in the moment, wash knives. Just wash knives. You'll definitely stay aware.
I plan on just drinking most of the day.
There's another one.
Oh my God!
So there's 4.
So what do you think they are? I mean,
About the chemtrails?
oh, you know about that.
Yeah.
Most of our younger generation knows these days.
I mean,
Well, you
it's
know,
just
actually-
simply amazing.
They're seeding clouds right now. That's what they're doing.
Seeding clouds for snow, rain, what?
Probably snow.
So if you have a copy of Pink Floyd's The Wall, go ahead and listen to it and let me know if it says brick or break. I would suggest listening to the whole album. For me, it changed a few times. It's brick one time and the rest of the time it's break. Let me know. Give me a reply. Playing a little tic-tac-toe. I often come across people who say, yeah, I'm just sitting here checking out all the people and all their personalities. I'm just observing. And, you know, are they learning something from that? I mean, what is that? If I am the only one in my own timeline, in my own dimension, is it wrong for me to desire to spend time alone? If I have an opportunity to interact with others, should I be doing it? Is it wrong to be alone when that's the whole point? No, I don't think so. No. It's not wrong. But am I utilizing my time? I remember in a video not long ago I mentioned that the next experience might be experiencing your past lives. And not long ago I had a dream where it was me and 2 others. The 2 others were also me, and they were discussing what to do with me next. And you know, I had a little bit of a say, but there were boundaries. And you know, I just recall like the one going, yeah, that's it. He gets that. He does that, and yeah, he's going to go through that, and in a good way, like I deserved it. You know, it was like a good thing, and I deserved it, and that was really strange. And I'm wondering if that had something to do with that. I don't know. It was very vivid. And there was another dream where a psychic, Daniel Brinkley, walked me around and showed me different things. One where people were stuck mourning, another where people were given chances to go back and live physical lives. It was really vivid, interesting, revealing. But I don't dream vividly a lot. That would be 2 of them. I know I've made the statement that I don't feel we need a government on a macro scale as far as the country. You know, we don't have one for the world. I guess unless you count the UN, but that's not my point. I've been thinking about that on a collective scale. As a collective, yeah, we probably need to get involved as a collective. Individually, no. You know, and I think that's what we're doing. We're doing this collectively and individually. And I've always felt that no, we don't really need a government, because it's about what's in your perception and what you're doing within your pocket of life. I don't know. what's going on between governments, it shouldn't affect us. What they do is they control and manipulate and lie and steal. You know, I'm not trying to be flip about it, but that's what they that's what they do. It's about power, and it's not needed. If there was no government, we wouldn't be worried about what was going on in other countries. Oh, well, people would be coming across the borders and whatever. Okay, well, those areas, the law enforcement that lives there would have to take care of that. I mean, you know, if there's an individual thing in a certain town going on that needs to be taken care of, the authority in that town would take care of it. Governments don't have to get involved. It's just my opinion. But on a collective scale, I've been thinking about that, and on a collective scale, yeah, I need to put more thought into that, because collectively we probably need to, on a macro scale, yeah, we need it. Or better yet, on the macro scale, we need to get rid of it. We need to be involved and fix it, deplete it down to nothing. I mean, it's to where on the macro scale we are taking care of ourselves. I was going to do this big no vote, don't vote campaign, but I don't know if that's the way to go either. I don't know if that's the way to work. I'm not. I haven't been involved in years. Once. I voted once. I voted for Perot. I don't even know if that was the right thing. But I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to go do the whole no vote thing. I would have been started that months ago anyway. Everybody's got to do what they want to do. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Vote for who you want to, or don't vote if you don't want. What kind of cat is it?
All the time. So when you're home from work,
Is
you
it
just want to
Sphinx
sit and
hair?
chill. No,
It doesn't. You can't really pet it.
Yeah, she doesn't like. She likes it, but she's like.
Yeah, she wishes she had fur. Oh, you are so interesting.
Be right out with you, boss. Give her a
That's a
bell.
good shot.
But there's another one?
Yeah, there's one going that way. And this one's going this way. There's another new world at the top of the world for the first one who breaks through the ice. And I looked around the room.
Sitting here watching this Ford Mandela effect, and I'm looking at it, and it changed again for me. The zero, or the O, Ford, is broken at the top now, and I swear it wasn't before, and I'm going to go look back in my archives because I've taken pictures of it. Not that that would matter, and between the R and the D is strange too, and this guy says that, which brought that to my attention. I really feel like that ring is different. That's two people now I've had tell me that the Jiffy peanut butter, the emblem or the symbol was a kangaroo. That's twice. Two different people told me that. I don't recall that specifically myself, but I do remember Jiffy peanut butter.
That is one big pile of shit.
You're right. There's no trace of lilac berries. That's so odd, though.
So now this Jurassic Park scene, where she's taking care of the dinosaur, I don't, I remember when that first came out, I thought, well, I just saw the movie probably a month or two before, and I didn't recall the scene. Or I did recall it, but I didn't recall seeing it. And I recalled the description of what they were saying. I thought that was strange, but I might have got up and missed that scene, whatever. I mean, that's, so I kind of let it go. So I don't know if this is a mistake, somebody messing around, a personal Mandela effect, or if this is one of those things that switch back and forth, because this is the scene that they described. And also the Ford symbol. You know, I had that Ford experience where I saw the Ford commercial where the top of the F had a giant curly Q, and now I'm looking at it and there is a gap in the O, which I don't recall, and there is a line between the R and the D that somebody mentioned, and when they mentioned it, that's when I looked at it and thought it looked weird, but I didn't notice that prior to them mentioning it. So, but I think I'm going to put all the electronics down for a week, just to see, just to do something different. A couple of videos I'm going to watch first. I've been coming across a lot of people talking about this Mandela effects. So,
You know, if it's all right, I'd like to stay with Dr. Harding and finish up with the trike. If, you know...
Sure, I'm in a gas-powered Jeep. I can drop her at the visitor center before I make the boat with the others.
Great. Then I'll catch up with you if you want to go on.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with her a little longer.
Okay, then.
Okay.
I recall back last year, about a year from now, we were on the Mandela Effect.com site discussing different ways to shift. We were actually trying to figure out different ways to do it on our own without, you know, either the natural shifts or CERN or whatever was causing them. So I remember us, you know, that's how far we got with the Mandela effect. We kind of, you know, still picked up on them when we noticed them, but we were striving for more. And I think that's, you know, what I'm trying to say.
This was Jazz Sinclair, quick check-in. Mommy, don't let the jazz man go.
Going on this week, in addition to the election and 11/11 and everything else that's going on, is we've got this super powerful full moon coming up on the 14th. So it'll be right after this week on the Tuesday the 14th or Monday the 14th. So NASA is calling it the supermoon of all supermoon. They're saying this is the closest that the full moon will come to the Earth in the 21st century, and that the next time it comes around this close to us would be something like 2034, that the orbit is so close. Full moon historically is a time for you to release anything that's standing in your way, and with this, they're calling it the supermoon of the supermoons on the 14th, that you'll be able to release big time in a new whole way. And this week, because the full moon's coming up, and full moons really are 3 days, so it'll probably start the effects this week, definitely on the 13th, and you'll notice, those of us who are full moon sensitive, that you might feel a little more emotional.
Really been wanting to get this out, and probably going to take longer than just a week break from all the electronics. If we're in our own little dimensional pocket, like I suggested, like I theorized, and we're each in our own dimensional world, universe, everything's here for me. This morning I woke up in not a bad mood, but not a great mood either. It was kind of just neutral. And as I went downstairs and I started working, I started this daydream where somebody was going to get on my shit and I was going to get pissed off, and 5 minutes later, boom! When it was nothing I did, it just happened, because I'm like, whoa, I was the cobwebs, wasn't woken up yet. So everything here is for me, and I am the one controlling it to an extent. I'm pretty sure that there would be something that would, hey, if you're going to think this way, you're going to get taught a lesson. Well, I think that's what's been going on with me. I'm going to put everything down, including YouTube. I think being on YouTube and putting out that info has a lot to do with it. I really do. Being involved in it. I'm going to step back for a little bit. I plan on closing the channel down, just leaving it up. As soon as I can change the name again, I'll change it to something more appropriate. Look at those pretty line clouds. That's what I'm going to call them from now on, line clouds. I said that the other day in a video. I think I said something like, I wonder if there wouldn't be any clouds if they didn't put the chemtrails up. Maybe that they're creating. So as I've been saying, this is all here for me, including YouTube, including the videos on YouTube and everything I watch. And I've been coming across too many fearmongers. They don't even think they're doing it. It's just they're so programmed into it, they don't even realize they're spreading the fear. Walk away forever, for a while. You know, I really don't know. I just know that this is this Mandela effect, flat earth information, the Mandela effects that I've experienced and the other things I've experienced. It's time for me to move on from that and to explore that and experience that without, I don't want to say without sharing. If something comes up that's pretty major, I'd be thrilled to share. But I think it doesn't, I mean, and you'd be getting it in your own timeline, dimension, whatever. You'd be getting that information, but it might not affect you. You might not need to experience those things. So since this is all here for me, and this is why I started making these videos anyway, for me, so you know, I'm not too sure I need to do it anymore. The last time I put it down big time, the JFK thing came up. And something before that I tried to, you know, I said I wasn't going to post anymore, and something else came up for me to post. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to shut this channel down. I may do one more video. It may be highlights of every single video I did, or at least the points that I've made. But I believe I'm going to shut it down. I spent a lot of time offline doing my own thing. I'm creating a lot more, even if it is negative, because of what's going on up here when I'm not paying attention. It's important to pay attention. It's important to be aware. I am going to shut it down. This will probably be the last or second to the last video. I hope you guys got something out of it. I'm going to change the name of it too. But I'm sure I'll keep in touch with those I've kept in touch with. And thank you, everybody. Love every one of yous. Keep it up. You know, I have my views. You know what my views are. I've said them many times. The Mandela effects, you know, the flat earth, my own personal dimension. Me putting these videos on YouTube is for me. And it's part of my perception right now, so I'm getting rid of it. You know, I kind of did it for about a week, got away from it, and I realized, you know what, it's a good thing. I want to get rid of it. I want to miss you guys. I'll probably pop on, listen to what you have to say, see if anything major's going on. But peace, love, and you know, help everybody. Help everybody. Stay away from the fear mongering. I've come across way too much of that. Like I said, I don't care. If you're bringing it up, you're a fearmonger. If you're watching it, you're being filled with fear. And you want to go do things to stop that. I'm not going to get into that now either. This is just to close up. That's what this is. Love every one of you. And see you soon, I hope. Maybe in a year or so, maybe 6 months. We'll see what goes on. I'm pretty sure 2017 is supposed to be a pretty big year too. But, alright. Talk to you later. 2017 will be a big year for supernatural effects and things changing, Mandela effects. I don't know if you want to categorize them like that, because there are so many different things. The time shifts, walking in and out of timelines or dimensions or whatever it was. I don't know. I have theories. That's all I have. You know, I have theories. I resonate with some of them, and they're the ones I go with. You know, but if this is what I've said, as far as this is my own personal true dimension, then this is for me, and I don't necessarily need the videos. I do need like-minded people, so that may be a reason why I may have to come on, because it's hard to come across that in the real world, but it's important to do that. I've come across a lot of people recently who already know about the Berenstain Bears and the Mandela effect, and they just kind of goof it off and, oh, haha, that's so cool, and that's it. But maybe it's not for them to understand what's going on. Maybe it's not for them to see what's going on yet. I don't know. But I found it all very fascinating. I'm still looking into it. But as far as posting, yeah, if I find something that I really think will help people, I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm going to shut this channel down. Maybe I'll open up another one next year or see what goes on. I had a lot of fun. You know, my views on flat Earth are it's not a globe, it's not spinning through space. Space isn't real. The stars are, I don't know. You know, I have theories on that too. Portals, who knows? Just lights in the sky? I don't know. You know, the shape of the flat plane, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't think I'll ever know what it is. I don't think the people checking it out are ever going to find out what it is, but I think it's great that they go for it, because that's something that people are going to want to see when they first get into this. So it's a really good thing to do. I mean, it's a really sad thing about all the infighting, but I'll also be leaving a lot of links
because I got looking,
on
you know,
my
I'm driving
this
along,
last
looking,
video
there's not a lot
here
to
of
do, but I'm not gonna watch the traffic.
a lot of sites
Why would I
and
watch the
people
road
that I
when
like
got
to
all the
watch.
sky to look at?
Bases are loaded. Everything could collapse within just like 4 days. It wouldn't collapse here in 4 days because people here will band together and help each other because we're a small community. In the big city, people will raid the grocery stores, and in martial law, they will shoot and kill every single looter. All these looters will be shot with machine guns.
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, I think smaller communities would probably be.
You can band together, but when you go out in the woods and hunt, you better be wearing your orange, and because there's going to be like 40 bullets firing on one deer. There's going to be some collateral damage out in the woods when people are hunting with that many people.
If like that happened, they would be killing you for your gun.
Yeah, no kidding.
So don't wear orange.
And then when things settle down, then I get around other like-minded people that are ready for the situation that's going on. Because there's going to be FEMA camps. There's people going to be in the FEMA camps will be full.
In cities.
Yeah, in the big cities.
Save your seats.
There we go.
Nope.
Bam.
Safe all around.
Look at that.
Nobody out. Except for others in this game.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna close out right now.
Close it down. Such a shame. I mean, that's some of the conversations I hear at the bar. It's just like trying not to get involved. They're where they are. I am where I am. And they are where they are.
Hey, I'm Barry Allen, fastest man alive. I also think that I am on the wrong Earth. I'm gonna need your help.
All those timelines, they exist. It's about where you put your consciousness, where your focus is. Where's your focus? So I'm not leaving my friends. I'm not leaving you guys.
These dimensions, there will only be a slight difference. And you're constantly going in and out of these other dimensions all the time.
This
I
is
don't know
awesome.
whether it started
I
raining
don't know how you
because
got
it
those
needed rain or
colors.
it started to rain because
I gotta do this.
somebody's trying to tell me something.
I mean, I don't know. I may be back, but I'm going to shut this channel down. If I come back, it'll be on another channel. But I guess what I'm saying is, after, you know, everything I've done over the year plus, man, if everything's for me or in my personal reality or realm, as some like to say, I you know, part of it, this was part of it, being on YouTube and posting my videos. But I think we're done with that for now. Maybe for good. Because I realize I need to experience physical reality. No matter what it is, no matter what's going on, I need to experience it physically because that's where I am now. That's my perception. There's a girl in the bar today talking about how she fears ghosts and is afraid of ghosts. So I showed her a picture in the back of a ghost, and I tried to explain to her, you know, you fear ghosts, so you're going to get ghosts. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you're looking at the elections and government stuff, then the government, well, they control you because that's what they do. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, even subtly or whatever. If you're watching distractions, you're being distracted from the truth. What is the truth? I don't know. You know, I know I've been lied to about a lot of many things, and you know, I've come to terms with that. And I'm living my life the best way I know I can, and being happy and helping people and not waking up on the wrong side of the bed. It's a big deal. You know, I've discovered ways to put myself in a great mood right away.
He'll have great powers on
You
his
could say I love chicken nuggets too, but I'm thinking chicken nuggets I think of. But you might be thinking what is to me
Chocolate.
a cheeseburger. You know?
Right,
like, it
exactly.
Like we can never prove what
Red,
another human being can actually
This
hear.
is good. Blow. He's very
He's
good.
good.
Listen,
No,
let me
I'm
film
not
him.
good.
Film me. Let me film you, brother.
No. Maybe a couple
He's
more
good.
times.
He's
Maybe a
good.
couple more times we come in here and have these conversations, and then we'll
it's
we'll
good.
start our own fucking
I could give you a couple more drinks.
You know, like,
It's good. I like what he
we'll
says.
See. You know, we'll see. There's just
Very
there's
philosophical.
Just, there's
It
a lot
is.
of shit you need to break down in order to actually like come to what you think is the truth. But when it's like, oh, the earth is flat or round, like you can never actually prove the other person wrong when you get down to like the very basis of like how the brain operates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand.
Like this is red to both of us. We all agree that these straws are red.
Yeah.
But I could never scientifically prove that you see the same thing I'm looking at.
You could be looking. It could look blue to you. What he perceives
That
as
might
blue.
not even. That could be a fucking.
Could be what I perceive
Something
as.
just dawned on me. But through, I don't know how long it's been, but at least since 2014, 2015, up to September, the color red did not exist the way I understand it, or understood it and understand it now. It was more of an orange. And every time I saw something that was red, it was more of an orange. And I just kind of thought it was weird, but I blew it off. I wasn't aware of the Mandela effects or the time changes or anything else. And I'm just thinking about that now, because now the color red looks like the way I recall the color red. I've been thinking, I'm the only one in this timeline. I'm the only one that is conscious in this timeline, and anybody near me or that interacts with me, their consciousness is on a timeline close. But everything going on where I am conscious is just here for me, as it is for you and everybody else. There's something that didn't look right.
I got a guy telling me Eminem recorded a song about Christopher Reeves, and he sings it as Reeves. I just don't know what the song is.
I am your father.
I so don't want to post. I'm having problems getting this last video out. I just want to be done with it, and I pull away, and then I see how things are, and I look for entertainment. And you know, is it safer to go to YouTube than Netflix? Who knows? Who cares? I'm reading this great, watching this great video now by Devin Madge. But you know, I'm recording this because I don't know how to explain this. Within the last, I want to pinpoint it, day, 2 days, or was it a month? Now time's messing with me. People's attitudes have changed towards me. I'm real content, and I know what content did with me before. But I need to be content up until spring. At least that's what I feel. Things are going great for me yet. outside of the picture, I'm seeing people's personalities come back to what they used to be. Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. I couldn't believe I grabbed the camera to make a video. I was like, oh my God, yes, this is going to be great. And now I can't articulate it as usual. Well, no, not as usual. Just this time. I guess I'm just saying, I wonder if there is another shift of some sort. But regardless, you know, let's bottom line it. I still got to get through my day. And if I'm still interacting with people who I've interacted with before who were different, I'm going to have to deal with it. I mean, this might be the norm from now on. I don't know. I am going to link, I'm probably going to link a lot of things, but definite link in False Light Trap, The Wizard of Oz, and The True Light. Notice this blood over intent information coming out again, not as pushy as it was last time. I know it was ritualistic. I felt that I kind of went through something like that anyway, not on purpose. It just kind of happened. So it made me think there was something to it. I kind of backed off on it because it was too ritualistic. A lot of interesting things that they say, but you know, that's how you get trapped. You know, here's a good thing, here's a good thing, here's a good thing, wham. You know, but I don't know. I'm not. You know, the whole blood over intent thing, I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. It's just there, and that's what I'm going to leave it at, is there, because, you know, every once in a while I'll feature a video and it comes up. I'm not finding that strange. Coincidence? Don't believe in coincidence, so we'll see. So Prince didn't just say, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life." He said to get through this thing called life, but he also said the afterworld, not the afterlife, like I recall it. I'm done with this.
Survived. Remember the man with wings? It wasn't a
The
man.
shirt.
It was Kendra.
The shirt.
She
You
was
are
like
here.
a bird. You think that she's a medium? Why didn't you say anything about this? Well, I didn't think it was related, but I guess.
Well, bye, y'all. Y'all have fun with your flat Earth and your Mandela effects. I am. The election is a distraction. I'm reading that now. No kidding. What a joke. Yeah, I'm going to go experience garbage, I guess, because I'm not experiencing exactly what I want physically. You know, I'm still going through this and that. I feel like I have a better handle on it because I feel like I understand what's going on. Not completely. I have a good idea. Put it that way. But it's getting harder and harder for me to make videos, even when I see something that I would be worth videotaping. So guys, love yous all. Have a great life. Enjoy. Maybe blood over intent is a speedier way to break out of the physical construct matrix. Or we explore what we can do with it now that we understand it. And, you know, take the slow road, you know, or just take our time trying to figure things out.
It was the friendship which belongs so tired to your heart.
Very interesting people. There's Nina, who has some truly fascinating ideas about why quantum particles change form when someone observes them. Then there's John. He's working on a drug that alters the way we all perceive time. I mean, if you could... Oh, and Arthur. He claims he's one breakthrough away from being able to double a mouse's lifespan by mutating its genes. The limits of what we know, that's something you can get lost in.
Feelings, emotions, attitude. I think that's all involved as well. I've noticed in this timeline dimension, whatever, I get headaches. Not bad ones. Just small little headaches that I've never gotten before. I haven't had a headache in 30 years. And I'm shorter in this timeline too. You know, I wasn't short enough in the first place. I guess that's why people are like, say, how tall are you? And I say 5'6", and they just start laughing. If you're coming across someone who's not seeing any Mandela effects,
makes more sense than a conscious.
they might not really be here.
The consciousness itself.
They may be planted here for you. You know, like, you know, the people that aren't here.
About it that doesn't fit for me.
Hope anybody watching this that doesn't see any isn't insulted that, I don't think you really exist. Heard about the Anheuser-Busch changing of the spelling for a Mandela effect, right? So I heard it was spelled differently. But I never knew the difference anyway, so it wasn't going to make 2 cents to me. It wasn't going to matter. So I'm walking by this sign that was painted in 1880, 1881, something like that. I walk into the bar. I see the bartender. I said, hey, grab me a bud. So I said, I'm looking for the spelling of Anheuser-Busch. So she grabs it, looks at it, and she goes, hey, didn't there used to be an I in Anheuser? A-I-N-H-E-U-S-E, right there. Anheuser beer on drought, imported. I can't read a lot of that. This town was established in 1879. Is that coming up? Yes, it is. All right, nice. But on the Bud bottle, it's A-N. There is no I. In this timeline, or dimension, what have you, it's 7 degrees. So I'm going back in.
It sounds bad, but you have to understand something. It's times like these when long-standing patterns are disrupted, that things become more fluid. That's when a small group of people, or even a single individual, can change the course of history.
See, I was supposed to go to a meetup today with the boys. It's an hour and a half, 2-hour ride, easy, without knowing where the place was for me. But as you can see, there's my car, so I'm not leaving anytime soon. But I knew this was coming, so I canceled it early. I told them I'll do it next time with you guys. I hope you have a good time. So I guess it'd be a good time to mention, I was off of YouTube and Facebook and all the electronic stuff, seriously, for almost a month. Most of November and the first half of December. Because what I noticed back last September, October, when I first started doing this, it became apparent that chasing Mandela effects is all I was going to do. And, I've come across quite a few. I've come across quite a few that other people notice changes and I haven't. I've had personal Mandela effects. People are still out there saying you can't have a personal Mandela effect. Well, I have quite a few different phenomena. The biggest Mandela effect for me was the JFK thing. There were 4 people in that car. Now there's 6. But I was well into the Mandela effect months before that. I was quite sure about some other changes. Sex in the City. I'm not going to go over all that old crap because I'm done chasing Mandela effects. The whole reason I even brought the camera out was to say, look, I haven't been on YouTube for almost a month, and I get on there, and the first thing that happens is, I felt like I was being attacked, so I replied back to some guy, and he wasn't. So in a message, I attacked back, and then I apologized because it's just stupid, and I don't need that drama. I got other people saying, this is wrong and right. I'm not going to fight with these people. I don't care. I mean, I do, I figure something's going to happen. They're going to see something eventually, and then I freaking wrote an email to Eric DeBay about how he just thinks Mandela effect is complete bullshit, and I explained to him, you seem like a pretty intelligent guy. You should be studying that stuff before you just make a statement like that. Or however he did it. I don't know the verbatim. I don't know what he said. And now I'm hearing all this stuff about them regulating the internet, so I won't be posting as much. That's all. Again, I say it again. And if I see something worth posting.
We're gonna need a bigger flash.
We're so sorry if we caused you any pain. We're so sorry.
Tight to Your Dreams, ELO, a 1980 album. It was on a 1980 album that I didn't recall. We spoke about this on the Mandela Effect site, how the album seemed to come out of nowhere, and Hold On Tight to Your Dreams was a single. Well, I'm listening to the song now, and it's Hold On Tight to Your Dream, singular. I think it was 1980, it might have been 81.
Out that the King James Version of the Bible has unicorns all over the place, in Deuteronomy, in Numbers, in 3 of the Psalms, and then the later versions of the Bible changed the name of unicorn to oxen, probably after they became extinct. And there's unicorn images in all the major museums, and also St. Hildegard wrote about healing with unicorns and talked about how unicorns were hunted for medicinal reasons.
Piglet changed. Monocle. Money bags. McDonald's. Wow. In Greece, the movie Grease has changed.
There are so many ways to skin it.
A cat, yes. Congratulations, you have the wit of a YouTube comment. Are we going to talk or not?
Not.
Surprise. I doubt I'll even get this up. If I do, it'll be one video. I don't know. Mesh something together if I put enough up. But it's, you know, me getting away from the electronics. I still got my phone. I still got my computer. I've taken Facebook down. I haven't looked at YouTube. If I get mail or whatever, or comments, I'll comment. I'll take a look at them all and just comment at one time. But it's not just the electronics. There's other things involved too, physically. And the 3 things that I did or did not do were I stopped eating meat. I stayed away from the electronics that week. My computer was down. I barely touched my phone. And the other thing, sexual release of energy. Nothing. No partners, no nothing. I mean, and that's when everything started to happen. Those 3 things. And, you know, I hesitated to mention them because I wanted to experiment individually and see if it was a combination of, you know, all 3, or if it was just, you know, one of them. You know, like I said, when I saw those orbs, the first impression I got was stop eating meat, and that just, you know, that just threw me for a loop, because I'm like, you know, I've been studying UFOs my whole life. I see a couple orbs, and I get the impression to stop eating meat. I mean, that just didn't make sense to me, but I'm like, all the other things I could stop doing, you know, and that was the one thing. So, you know, that piques my curiosity. That should be one of the easiest things to stop doing, right? Not really. Try it. One of the other things that I'm not sure, I may have touched on during those videos, but in December of 14, I drank too much grain alcohol, like a half a glass. I thought it was vodka. I was being stupid, and apparently really stupid. I passed out in the kitchen. I mean, you know, I give you the details, but I woke up in the bathroom, shoveling water down my throat. I mean, that was an interesting story. So anyway, I felt like I could have passed, and instead of passing, just shifted into another timeline. June of 15, just before I saw those orbs, a couple weeks before I saw the orbs, I accidentally impaled myself. I don't know if I mentioned that on these videos. I'd be shocked if I didn't. Great detail in that story. There's very little chance I should have survived it. I was in the dark and I fell on the edge of a table that I set up. It was a pointed, jagged table, and I thought, oh, I better move that. Somebody could get hurt. And I didn't. And I also propped up a shovel in the garage. Now, when I walked in the garage, I saw the door across the way. So I shut the door. It was pitch black, and I thought, I can make it. And I started to walk and got tangled up with my robe and the tassel and everything, and I fell straight down. I got tangled up on this shovel that I propped up, and I fell on the table that I put there. And it was pointed and jagged. My jaw hit the ground. My whole body was flat on the ground, yet I was pulling myself up off the table. I can't explain it any better than that. I felt it coming out of me. I couldn't understand why it didn't penetrate, you know, but it may have, or I couldn't understand it. But it should have been really bad. And I got up, I turned around, I flicked the light on, and I just stared at this table because it was a round, beveled edge. The pointed one was behind it. It just made no sense to me whatsoever, unless somebody moved those tables. But at the same time, I'm telling you, I was flat on the floor and pulled myself up off of that table. That was another time, you know, and then I started to notice changes, but didn't think anything of it. That was my first experience with Jiffy peanut butter. I saw Jif, Jiffy, and Skippy on the shelf at the supermarket, and I kept thinking, hey, why isn't somebody getting sued? And that's all I thought about it. I was aware of the Mandela effect. I didn't just put that together. There's no way I would have. Nothing was missing. Nothing changed for me. That's what I was looking at. I've always seen Jiffy and Skippy on the shelves. But at that time, for some reason, I stood there in the supermarket and stared at it. And just, you know, like, why isn't somebody getting sued? That was it. You know, I'm wondering if those, you know, because somebody else was talking about death being a catalyst for Mandela effects. And my theory is you just shift your consciousness into another timeline, because I'm quite sure that the scar I have right here, as you can probably see that, used to be over here, because, you know, it was my left hand, my left arm. I didn't care that I had this scar that the doctors were experimenting on when I was 21. You know, I didn't care about that. It was my left arm. I'm right-handed. I didn't care. Plus, I was drunk and high and everything else. So, you know, my thing is, while you don't take your body, you're just taking your consciousness. And all those different bodies are out there. I forget what it's called. Lightning in the eyes, colored lines streaking through. It was discussed on MandelaEffect.com. As possibly one of the symptoms. Also, the ringing in the ear. I haven't heard ringing in the ear for months, and it happened tonight, and I haven't had that colored lights or whatever in my eye for about a year, and both have happened tonight. It's like I can't really see. I can, but I can't make things out. I thought that was interesting because there were two things discussed on the site. How's that for not having any more videos?
We may have inadvertently traveled to a parallel universe.
What?
The multiverse theory of quantum physics posits the existence of alternate worlds running parallel to our own. Divergent time streams that may differ slightly or even significantly from the reality that we inhabit. They can theoretically be accessed by
punching a hole through space.
Stars flashing at me, seeing orbs, getting impressions, having characters look at me through the television, having conversations with people that didn't happen, seeing Mandela effects, shifting into different rooms, whatever. What's it all mean? You know, it's been over a year now, and I feel like there's a slight lull, even though I still notice things here and there, and I'm not really posting as much. I'm entertaining myself other ways. As I'm sure you've seen, I've put clips from TV shows that, you know, here and there, I think they're just saying things that are relevant, so I put them up. That's what I'm doing here, you know. But I do think there's something more. I think there's something more coming. And yeah, we need to prepare, but just mentally. And just remember who you are and where you are. Remember who you are.
We need protesters and looters. We need chaos. We could use social media to spread rumors that cops are cracking down. We would need an image that would galvanize people. So I say we stage a photo of a cop in riot gear shooting a community leader.
And how do we stage that?
However we have to, even if we have to shoot someone.
You know, I can't lay down certain ways that I used to enjoy laying down to go to sleep. And I think it's because of where the organs are now. Oh, the shit I think about when I don't have my phone or it's not charged. I'm going to slip this into my next video real quick. The Mandela effect question. I've come across some other info I'm looking at, and somebody mentioned Jonestown. And how somebody thought one thing, but something else was said. So I went ahead and recalled what I remembered. And I looked it up, and it's different from what I remember. I also think it happened a little bit later, 3 or 4 years later than, 2 or 3 years later than what is stated. So look it up. Look it up, or figure out what you remember. Look it up and reply for me. So I've been checking out etymology. Very informative, very interesting. Although some of them are pretty well dated, 3, 4, 5 years ago. But I find the words and what they mean and why they were put together extremely interesting, and I find that it could be ammunition for us, or answers, or if nothing else, more direct questions. So I'm going to leave a link to a couple of those etymology explanations. If you want to go to my page, there's a good one right up front. That'll also be very interested in what these people think about the Mandela effect and flat earth theory. So I'm sitting here listening to Diana Krall while I cook. But I'm surprised how many people never heard of her. Yet at the same time, last year while I was on the site, Fiona Broom's MandelaEffect.com, I came across an artist that was very popular that I never heard of before, didn't recognize. And it's not like I wouldn't have, because she plays with a lot of people that I know. Her name was Joss Stone. Came across the name on Facebook, and I don't know, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, because I've listened to her, I'm like, yeah, I can see where she'd be wrong. Diana Krall does a version of California Dreamin'. And I can't make out what she says. I think it's a combination of both. Like every time I've listened to it since, it's a combination of both words to me. But, I'm sitting here wondering if it was called Jamestown. I guess this could be along the lines of a missing item. Look, you just bought a brand new thing of grill bricks. Says, what are you talking about? Last time I bought grill bricks was last April. And there should be a couple more left. I said, dude, you bought a brand new box. I remember opening up the box. I remember opening up. It was the top brick I took off. There's only 3 bricks left in that box. And he swears he bought them last April. And I swear I just got a brand new box 3 weeks ago. And, So I don't know. I'm sitting there going, oh, I shifted. But I don't know. I mean, it could have been a shift where something like that would have been overlooked by most people in here anyway. Did I just overlook this box? I remember a full box 3 weeks ago. I remember opening up the box. I remember when he came in with it from the truck. I don't know. So is the grill story even worth telling? I've been walking around a supermarket and just filming anything that I've known or heard about that was a Mandela effect. Some of them, I like the Oscar Mayer. I remember the song, M-A-Y-E-R. M-A-Y-E-R. Did I just say that? don't even know what the correct spelling is now. M-A-Y-E-R. That's how I remember the song. M-A-Y-E-R. But I look at Mayer, M-E-Y-E-R, and I'm like, could have been. But I remember the song, M-A-Y-E-R, so I don't know. But, you know, I film stuff like that. I'm walking through the supermarket, just filming everything. The Captain Crunch thing really ticks me off. You know. But as far as Mandela effects, the biggest one for me was the JFK thing. That I'm absolutely 100% sure of. There was 4 people in that. 4 people in that car, so you can't tell me I misremembered. You know, that's not a memory thing. I'll go along and say, yeah, I've been eating Jif peanut butter my whole life, and I just thought it was called Jiffy. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know why I would just think it was Mirror Mirror all this time, and now it's Magic Mirror. I could say, yeah, maybe I forgot. I mean, I don't have Jiffy peanut butter imprinted in my brain to where I know exactly what it looked like. But I remember eating Jiffy peanut butter. I mean, like the Pepsi thing. Blue on top, red on the bottom. It was a round circle with the wave on top and the wave on the bottom. And it's the way it always was. And that, you know, I've heard a couple other people say, yeah, it's changed. I haven't heard a lot of people say that one's changed. But that was big for me about a year and a half ago when I noticed it. And the Sensodyne that I said, you know, Sensodyne for me was INE at the back. And I remember years and years ago changing and me just blowing it off as they changed the name, or I didn't even give it that much thought. When I see a discrepancy that can be based on a Mandela effect, most of the time my mind just blows it off. I don't give it a second thought, and it's probably happened always. So now that I'm noticing, you know, what are we doing with this? You know, we have the theories, shifting into other dimensions, time travel, parallel universes merging together, false memory. I'm not buying that for a second, but I'll throw it in there. You know, no matter what it is, it's on a mass scale, and I'll call it the universe, the multiverse, whatever, is trying to tell us something. And it's going to, and I really feel like it's going to get bigger so more people notice. Under Capricorn, not a she-goat. Things that I would love to just say to people randomly, like especially the people I work with. Don't walk in on me while I'm doing videos. It's so embarrassing.
Do your video!
Like I was just gonna say to her, you know, I might be a half-inch shorter in this timeline, but my back is stronger because I just went outside bringing the trash out in the bottles, and I just slipped on the ice and caught myself really well. But I've noticed that before. I acquired a dog recently, so if I feed this dog meat, am I doing him any favors? This is strange. I can't be sure because now I'm just, my head's just swimming in it, so I gotta leave it alone, I guess. Jonestown. You know, something in the back of my head's telling me it was Jamestown. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, well, it's pretty young. You know, I do remember it. I remember everybody dying. And that's not the way it happened. I don't know. I don't know, I'd love some. I can understand the thing now about having no regrets. Yeah, because, you know, you're probably not going to want to come back. You have regrets, you're probably thinking, you know what, I want to get back, and I want to go do this and that and the other thing. No, I really wasn't focused on that. I think I made the point, though. If you're the creator and you're playing around, you can start the game whenever you want, right?
They bought it.
Which brings me to, is there things, when there's a shift or whatever's happening, whatever changes there are, Would there be some change where it's common knowledge and I wouldn't get it? So one of my thoughts here, now I'm stuck with the idea in my head that if I could break out of the matrix, or if I knew how to break out of the matrix, would I wait? Would I do it right away? Hello. Okay, we're halfway through. Go grab yourself a coffee. You got 2 minutes. I've had about a 50-50 split on the Little Dipper, Big Dipper, whether or not they were connected or not. And I think I came across a song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers that speaks of, or they sing about the Mandela effect. At least that's how I interpret the song. Who knows? Personal Mandela effects. Although true, at least from my experience, pointless. Just pointless. There's no need. For the individual, it's fantastic if they're accepting it, and if they're not accepting it, maybe it'll help them. But otherwise, personal Mandela effects are personal, and really nothing to report.
It's called the Mandela effect. It's so weird, and she's like, "That's so creepy."
Oh, she didn't know about it? So all your friends think the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper were connected?
Just her, but I can't wait to ask my sister and my neighbors and everybody else.
And you're sure they were?
My brother was like, "Yeah, they're connected at the tips, right?"
I was never sure where.
They're not anymore.
Curious, curious.
I came out to brush the snow off my car. What a joke. I guess I might as well leave this. It's silly. I need more than a broom. Seems to me we have this choice. And I know my thoughts aren't going to be totally clear here, but to start, we've been told, or I've learned through books and other means, that energy cannot be destroyed or created. It always is, always was. Am I supposed to believe that now? I mean, okay, I'm still working on that, and I still resonate with that. So it's come to my attention that I want to say what if, but we have a choice. We've come from, I'm calling it spiritual life, energy. We've come from the spirit world and we've become physical, and now we're here, and it's almost like we have a choice to become eternally physical through means, or go back to the spiritual. Is it eternal? If we're forever physical, eternal physical, you know, it would seem to me, I don't know, is that something we want? Is that, you know, were we tricked to be here, like I've said, that we deceived ourselves to come here to experience physical reality? And if we chose to experience eternal physical reality, I mean, who would, I don't want to say who would do that, because, you know, if things are great and you're having a good time and everything's fun and happy and you're successful and in the eyes of yourself, you know, yeah, but eventually doesn't it become mundane and repetitive? And so you go back to experience all the other physical, all the other dimensions, all the other things you can experience. You know, there's so much more out there to experience. Do I believe that? I've been told that. I've read that too. You know, I mean, you know, I feel like, yeah, there's a choice out there. I've made mine. I know where I'm going. I mean, you know, but is that the right choice? And if you go back, you got that choice to go back. I bet you do. And if you go towards eternal physical reality, do you have that choice to go back? I don't know. You know, you'd think eventually it all comes to a head and stops and starts over again or whatever, but that's what I've been programmed to understand. You know, how true is that? Said enough. So is there a choice here to where we can go back to the other dimensions and experience other things, or stay physical, what they say, eternal, and we have a choice? I don't know, it doesn't sound like much of a choice. Make your own. You know, there's just so much going on. Is it eternal? No matter what you choose? I was wondering, could it be that these people who are really against the Mandela effect and say we're all misremembering, could it be that they know what's going on and they just don't want us to know? I really don't think so, but just a thought. All the music I listen to, I find this jazz the most relaxing, the most uplifting. Although I would like to get it in, what is it, 432 hertz instead of the 440 that they do. I'd like to try and figure that out. There are quite a few people on YouTube and other media sites coming up with new Mandela effects, and they're not new. You know, I just heard somebody say dilemma. It's the first time they, you know, it's a new Mandela effect, and there's another one that's, I think we had another shift or another Mandela effect, because back on www.mandelaeffect.com, back last September 15 in 2015. We discussed how many bombs were dropped in Japan. My recollection is it only took one bomb and that was it. They dropped it, the war ended, that was the end of it. The big discussion last September was, no, there was two bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So now I got this girl claiming that there's actually been three bombs and she swears there was only two. So there may have, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm going to go ahead and research it myself. I don't like posting stuff unless I research it, so I'll be doing that. But my point is, people are coming out saying these are new Mandela effects, and they're really not. You know, they've been around for a while. What color is a yield sign? I know it's been asked before. That's right. No, it hasn't been yellow since 1972. All right. I had a list of 400 Mandela effects, but I don't agree with all of them. Not that I don't agree with them. I just don't resonate with them. So I'm not going to bother mentioning them. But if you're interested, go look up MandelaEffect.com. Read the memory threads. They're incredible. I mean, I've read them all, and I could sit there and read them again. This is a list of Mandela effects, seldom mentioned Mandela effects that, for me, are, you know, relative. The Lindbergh baby. And I'm not going to say what I remember, and I'm not going to say what people are saying about it. So we'll just go ahead and check it out yourself. The Challenger explosion dates. They have 3 listed here. Chartreuse. What color closely represents chartreuse? Red or green? Mother Teresa. There's a couple of things with this. The spelling of Teresa and the year that she was canonized a saint. Barbara Streisand. How do you spell Barbara? This one's big for me because I wrote about it in my my Paul book. John Lennon's Bed In for Peace. Where was it held? And this is an incredible answer for me personally. The whiskey, Johnny Walker. How do you spell Johnny? Shirley Temple. This is a big one for me. When was her death? That one blows my mind. I mean, I don't know any of these things for truth because I didn't know Shirley Temple. All right, the movie Big has an alternate ending. How would you spell Cruella de Vil? The TV show Different Strokes looks extremely different to me. Here's a good one I like. Mystery Science Theater. 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000? Nobody does it like Sarah Lee, or nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee. And how many moons does Mars have? And here's a big one that I've been having fun with people with, the flesh-colored crayon. I do recall it. Others recall it. It's on the Mandela Effect site. Big conversations with that actually sprouted off to other incredible conversations. I was reading that this morning. Flesh-colored crayon, I recall it. There was a gentleman I asked, a friend of mine works next door. I asked him about the flesh-colored crayon. He says, yeah, that's what color I always gave Superman. I always colored Superman flesh-colored crayon. So, you know, of course he went off on, oh, don't tell me it's called something else now. And I said, well, flesh-colored crayon never existed, is what I told him. And then, of course, I had the conversation with the girls at the bar, and the one came up with, they should have had a whole packet of flesh-colored crayons. They would have been able to fill a whole box. So I just asked the manager, they're out there, and the barmaid, how do you spell Johnny Walker Black? And they keep giving me the finger because they keep saying it was Y. It's actually I-E. Them two giving me the finger. As sure as I am that sign across the street was A-I-N. What I've noticed is things that weren't made by the company are usually spelled the way we remember them, but this one is not. And after I do this latest clip, you'll see, after this clip you're looking at now, I'm going to start concentrating on different theories and what could be causing all this and what we're supposed to be doing with it. One of the things I heard of were the Berenstain Bears, where the EI changed to AI, and the EI represents physical reality or something. I don't know that. I didn't look it up. And AI, obviously, artificial intelligence. So I'm going to be making comparisons like that, checking out the different things, see if they're signs, messages, whatever they are. That's where I'm going to be taking all this. Technology that we have has always been in existence. There's technology we don't know about that it will be introduced to us, and that's just it. Everything was introduced to us periodically. The telephone, electricity, everything, airplanes, flying. When could we fly, and why did they wait for that specific time for us to be able to fly? Would we see that, we weren't a globe? So that's the thing, everything, all the technology we have now has always existed. And everything has been introduced to us systematically. This isn't scientific, but I'm telling you, I can almost tell every time there's a shift, because things change on my computer that I did not change, and there's no automatic upgrades. There's programs that I like that are changing, and it's happened 2-3 times, and I'm finding a pattern, and it just happened. Stop watching Netflix, TV shows to entertain ourselves and live the stuff, because there's TV shows out there that are portraying what we could be living, and we're not doing it. We could be. Some people look different to me. Like, I'll talk to somebody that I've seen 2 days ago, and they look 2 years younger or 2 years older, or something else about them is off. And it's happened a few times. I don't make a big deal out of it. So C-3PO was gold, and now he has a silver leg. If you switch that, it's a golden calf. There is no spirit world. I mean, it's just a thought. It's just a theory. Everything's other dimensions. The spirit world's just another dimension. So the word couch wasn't invented until 1895, but in 1611, when the King James Version of the Bible was written, the word couch is all over that, in every version. I don't know. I'm not a big Bible person, but that cracks me up.
Your focus determines your reality.
Personal Mandela effects, big Mandela effects. It's been brought up on MandelaEffect.com. Fiona Broom's site, she just put out a letter, I believe today, that, it's time to look into this, the bigger picture. It's time to explore what this is, instead of picking out all the Mandela effects. I'm sure people are going to bring them up here and there. It's a lot of people are coming out with, oh my God, new Mandela effect. Jiffy is now Jiff. Are you kidding me? I lived with Jiff and Jiffy, and it's not new. I've been talking about that for over a year, and but it's happening. A lot of people are just coming across it. They're not doing a lot of research, so they don't know what's out there. They go put out a video, and it's all looking, they're all thinking it's new. It's not. But anyway, Fiona Broom mentioned that the thing to do now is to start speculating what this is, and maybe even go further, what we can do with it. 3 days ago, Monday, went out and shoveled my car out again, and lost my keys. I didn't care. I just kept knowing they would show up, but I knew they were on the street. At the very least, they were in the bottom of my car, which I was sure of not, because I remember getting out of the car. I remember having my keys in my right hand, and I remember trying to figure out why the door was already locked. That was one thing. And then I shut the door, and it was locked, and I walked away. By the time I got 2 blocks away, I realized there was a hole in my jacket pocket. Couldn't find my keys anywhere. Combed the street back and forth. I blew it off. I'll get to it later. Not 24 hours later, I lose my phone. around the same time I lost my keys, my phone broke as far as the glass shattered. I had that phone for 5 years. The glass shattered. Less than 24 hours later, I lose the phone. I've been being guided to get rid of the electronics probably for over a year. Same thing with the stop eating meat. Orbs come out of the sky and tell you to stop eating meat. You stop eating meat. I just had a cheesesteak. Extra cheese. God, it was awesome. But, that's got to stop. And I know it's got to stop. And I understand that it's giving me nutrition. And, and I say that. And I do all the emotion things through it. And then devour the thing. Like, that's what it was supposed to be. Orbs told me not to eat meat. So I lose these things. And I realized, I was staying away from the videos and staying away from YouTube, and my phone was where I do most of my stuff. I started to feel it. This is not an answer. This is not an answer to the Mandela effect or the anomalies or the time shifts or having conversations that don't exist or coming into the information that you don't live on a spinning ball. I have been really looking at the Mandela effects, and if they're clues, messages, or whatever, that's what I'm trying to come up with. Now, in last May, I put out a video that made a statement that said, hey, everything's going from plural to singular. It's becoming more personal. And even before that, I said, this is a personal thing. You have to figure this out on your own. That's what's happening here. I didn't know if that was true. That's just what I felt. I don't know that it's true now. It's just what I feel. And I really feel like it's an individual thing. Mandela effect, abbreviated, me. It's about me. I mean, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't care who came up with the phrase or what they're calling it. It's not a coincidence. This is about me. And I've been coming up with that slowly, and I've been shoving it out there, but I wasn't doing anything with it. And there's other sites out there, they're starting to put that out too. And other people have put it out before, and I love that. Send it out. That's what we need. But there's other people going, you're taking my information and using it. And you know what? Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing anymore. I don't want to hear that crap anymore. If you come up with something, set it out. Send it out. If you're all like, oh my God, I found this. This is mine. That's ego. It's all ego. And guess what? That's not you. That's not who you are. That's what this whole thing is. We're trying to figure out who we are, part of it, right? So for me anyway, I realized that time, since I've lost my keys and I have to do videos from my phone. So this is like a test. This is my very first one right out the gate. I really believe I was going through 3 days, and I'm watching some videos during work, and that's it. And I commented some people back, but that was really all I was doing. I get really, really bored, and I try not to think, and I'll take these long ass steam baths and just meditate or whatever. And I'm bored. I want to do physical things. I want to hang out. I want to do, but I'm not. And I'm getting into what needs to be done here. I have a list of probably 10 things that I'm going to stop doing, or, be a little more level on. I don't know whether any of these things have anything to do with anything. They're just things that people call bad habits. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking beer, sexual release of any kind, talking bad about other people, gossip. What else is on my list? I mean, it's just a list of things that I'm not going to do. Not eating meat, being total vegan, even if it's at least for 3 days. But I guess if I wanted to send anything out there, the Mandela effect's starting to really blow up. They are new Mandela effects for these other people. I got on some people about saying, hey, look, these aren't new Mandela effects. Well, for them, they are. And if they're just observing them now, maybe they just shifted and it's a new Mandela effect for them. So who's to say You know, so if they wanted to be, if they want the Berenstain Bears to yesterday they were EI and today they're AI, that's possible. If this is quantum, they could have just shifted. So I don't know. This is just a rant as far as my story being. Look, I could feel the whole. It's about me. It's about I. Okay, you're going to need a bigger boat instead of we're going to need a bigger boat. Okay, depend instead of depends. You know, I don't get all the things. I don't understand the landmass changes. I found some really good sites where these people are really doing some good research on the land masses. Now, that's a whole nother topic. You know, there's the thing about, you know, I've also made another correlation that I've probably heard off of some other video, but maybe didn't put it together or whatever. And, you know, I've thought about this before. A lot of the things in the Bible, especially the book of Revelation, is coming true depending on how you interpret these things. I saw the stars come at me. It was in my very first video. I described that. It says somewhere in the Bible about the stars falling out of the sky. It says somewhere in the Bible about the dead raising from the grave. Well, you know, I put on one of my videos, I was talking to a family member about Louis Anderson dying. The conversation never took place. But Louis Anderson is still alive. I mean, Elvis Presley died twice for me. Nichelle Nichols died 3 times for me. Gene Wilder dies every 10 years for me. It's amazing. I'm so sorry this video's up to 8 minutes already because I really feel like I'm getting a lot of good closure information out. This is about you. Nobody else. You know, it's like I really want to come out and do these videos when I come up with an answer. It's not an answer. It's not the answer, but I want to come out and share this information with you guys. But I keep getting all around me when there's no electronics around and I'm not doing anything electronic-wise or whatever. I keep getting, this is about you. Figure it out on your own. And I've been saying that. Yeah, get off the video. Stop putting out videos. Hey, everybody, this is going to be my last video. I mean, how many times have I said that? And, of course, as always, these are just theories. Come up with your own. Find out what all this means to you. So if the Mandela effect is sending a message, what would it be saying? And what would it be saying? Who's saying it? Okay, is it a positive faction or a negative faction? I think it might be both. I think they both might be coming out. I'm not absolutely positive about that. What is it and what isn't it? What would the message be? The message would be, you know, what is it or what it isn't? What other things, what other theories are out there? You know, we should keep an eye out for what's being taken out, for what the Mandela effect is saying. I've already said it's about you. It's about me. It's about individuals figuring this out for themselves and what it means to them. If these Mandela effects and other anomalies are messages, what would the message be? Why did they take T's out of Schultz and other words, Sketchers, and why were T's taken out? Well, what does a T represent to you? I said it to 3 people, and everybody blurts out the cross. What does that represent to you? Religion? God, maybe? I don't know, but they took the T's out. So is this not religion or God doing this? They took the D's out, a D out of Folger. They took a D out of something else. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to interpret that because I'm not sure how to interpret it. Well, the D-wave computer, maybe they're taking the D's out of things because it's also not the D-wave computer. I've also seen an apostrophe show up on Hershey's bar. I always thought it was a Hershey bar, no S on the end. Now it's apostrophe S, and a lot of people are telling me that the apostrophe wasn't there before. So, but that shows possession. That's still about you, okay? Hunt's, tomato sauce. Hunt's, they have a pepper, I think. I think it's a pepper, or maybe some other, maybe it's a leaf, maybe from a tomato that kind of looks like a hyphen on Hunt's. Also showing possession. It's about you. You know, all of these things are just theories. You know, I'm looking into them. They took the D out, the T out. I'm thinking, take those things away. What do they represent? I'm just thinking, go ahead, give me your own thoughts, come up with your own ideas. And these are just theories. That's all they are. But we got to get thinking, you know. We got to get thinking. I got to get thinking. You know, come up with this stuff on your own and find out what it means to you. But these are just theories.